What's up guys, Rodreps here, back again with another video. You read the title, you read the thumbnail, you know what we're going to talk about today. We've got the Nike SB Dunk Pigeon Pandas. Very cool pickup. I'm excited to talk about the history of these, but first, let's get into that B-roll montage, of course. Alright, so now that we're done with that B-roll montage, let's start talking about this sneaker. I suppose we shouldn't really talk about this sneaker, we should talk about the original Pigeon Nike Dunks. It came out in 2004 as part of the City Pack. It was a whole other collaboration with Nike SB and a bunch of different designers from a bunch of different cities. The creator of the Pigeons, Jeff Staple, was chosen to make these as representation for New York City. And there were 3 others for the city of Paris, which are infamous for being absurdly expensive, of course. There was also London and Tokyo. So let's focus on the New York City Pigeon Dunks. I might do a history video about all of these later, but we're going to focus on the Pigeons today because that's what we got today. So Jeff Staple designed the Pigeon Dunks to represent New York City in this city pack of sneakers, and they were absolutely viral. Back then, it was one of the first things in sneaker culture to really blow up and make it to the mainstream news media, which is obviously pretty common today as sneaker and fashion culture is pretty mainstream with celebrities and whatnot, but way back then it was unheard of. So obviously with the original Jeff Staple Pigeon Dunks being so absurdly popular and sought after, doing a re-release of them would kind of be disappointing because it would lower the value of the originals and kind of put a sour taste in everyone's mouth. So they decided to do a different take on it and dubbed these the Panda Pigeons, obviously because of the colorway being black and white. But before we talk about the sneakers, let's actually talk about its packaging, because I got my pair with the special box included, which I'm very excited to have. This is definitely a shelf piece for sure to show off. So just looking at the exterior of the box, we have this printing that repeatedly says Staple, has little panda bear faces and pigeons, as well as this big central logo with Nike SB in the middle. Also on the top, we also have this sticker that has some bamboo, tree, and leaves and says Nike SB X Staple Pigeon. This printing covers the top and bottom and the longer sides, but not the short sides. And that sticker is only on the very top of the box. Opening up the top flap, we get greeted with a giant Nike SB logo, as well as some wonderful art of the Panda Pigeon Dunks on the bottom flap. Then upon opening up everything, we have some more kanji and writing, and presented in the middle is the pink Nike SB box that holds the shoes themselves. Taking the pink box out, we can see there's some nice little velvet lining in there, making it feel extra special. For the pink box that houses the actual sneakers themselves, it is just a regular Nike SB cardboard box with the flap lid. The size tag says Nike SB Dunk Low Pro OGQS. A whole bunch of codes there. I got a size 11. And the color is black, white, green gusto. Something else that's interesting is on the side and bottom of the box. The trademark printing is done in this like pixelated kind of font. I think that's an interesting little touch. You don't see much variation on like the legal printing that's on the boxes. So that's pretty cool to see. And of course, inside the box, I took them out. We've got all the tissue paper and whatnot and the extra laces. So now we get to talk about the good stuff, the actual sneakers themselves. Starting with this absolutely iconic sole. So the outsole is clear, and underneath we have printing of faux newspaper headlines, as calling an homage to how the original Staple Pigeons absolutely took over the local news and media and whatnot and were plastered everywhere. This pays homage to that with cool translucent sole. Very uncommon on these sneakers, and I love to see it. Very interesting. As we take a look to the midsole, we can see that that clear outsole actually wraps around a little bit, and so you can see it on the side. But moving up to the actual midsole, it's just black with this white stitching that contrasts the color. I really like that touch. Moving up to the main upper of the sneaker, let's look at the toe box, which has this smooth white leather. This is notably very good quality, not like regular Nike fake leather. This actually feels very soft and nice, and it's the same high quality leather on the toe and on the side panels as well as on the back of the heel. The black portion of the upper is a short-haired suede, which covers around the side of the toe strap, up the lace eyelets, and going around this panel that comes to the top of the laces. The swooshes are also made of leather. The outside swoosh is the same white that matches what's on the toe box and the side, but the interior swoosh is actually gray, and this is also to call homage to the original staple pigeons that were in a gray toned upper. I think that's an interesting touch, having some asymmetry with different colors on the interior and exterior. And now that we've talked about the base materials that make up the upper, now we get to talk about the extra little details. Starting with, of course, the trademark staple pigeon, which is on the outer side heel of both sneakers. It faces forward towards the toes, and it's embroidered into the black suede of the upper. On the back of the heel, we can see the Nike script text embroidered into that heel tab, and it is in this green color that adds some contrast. And the last special detail that I'll talk about before moving on is actually on the interior of the sneaker. On the inner wall of the interior of the sneaker, we can see the text sample, not for resale, but it is written over, and the sample is turned into staple by adding a T and scratching out the M. I think it's pretty funny, and I really love it. Adds more character to the sneaker, you know? But now that we're done with the special details, let's get back to the top with the laces and the tongue. So the tongue of the sneaker is big and fat, cushioned with foam, just like a regular Nike SB Dunk. The laces are regular oval laces that you see with most other Dunks. I have the black set laced up in my pair here. They came pre-laced with that, but it also came with replacement laces in white and green to match the highlight colors. On the top of the tongue, we can see the tag, which says Nike SB Dunk Low Pro, and the swoosh and the text on the bottom is in that green accent color, just like the heel. And then looking on the inner side of the tongue, we can see like the trademark and legal text, as well as more of that accent green color. So that's enough talking about the physical qualities of this sneaker and all their little details. Talk about sizing and comfort, of course. I'll start talking about the underfoot comfort with the sole. It being a Nike Dunk, not a whole lot of support and comfort underneath your foot, which is why I definitely recommend adding in some replacement insoles, whether they be, I get Boost foam insoles, or if you pick up a pair of Dr. Scholl's or something like that, I'd recommend a little extra support underfoot if you're going to be walking around in these all day. That being said, the upper being made of these premium materials and then having that cushion on top of your foot, pretty dang comfortable to wear. These are definitely wearable if you're going to be on feet all day, so long as you have a little extra cushion underneath you. And then talking about sizing, mine are a size 11, which is a half size up, just because that's what was available for me. And it's definitely still wearable. I feel like I could have gotten my true to size, a size 10.5. Get whatever your regular Nike SB Dunk size is, whether you already have a pair, or you can go into a retail store and try on a pair, because all of the Nike Dunks with the fat tongues are sized exactly the same. I'd recommend getting your true to size, but if you have to get a half up, it's not a big deal. So that's it, talking about the staple Panda Pigeon Dunks today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions or if I missed anything, please tell me in the comments below. I love chatting with you guys and responding to your comments. It's absolutely my favorite part of making these videos. Adios.